Good day, everyone. This is Will, and I want to come with a video. I want to define what it means when someone says that they are ex-gay, ex-alcoholic. Basically, what does ex mean? So, I want to be brief, but let's see how the Lord goes. Okay. Um, and I got notes again, but it's not long. Okay. X don't mean the desire or attractions to a particular sin has left. It just simply means your desire to live that way has left. Let's take the children of Israel, for example. When the children of Israel left Egypt, they became an ex-slave because they were in bondage in Egypt. But God still had to deal with the behaviors that they were exposed to and give them a new heart as they yielded to Him. So when someone says that they are an ex, it doesn't mean that they won't be tempted anymore. It don't mean that they won't fall anymore in that particular situation or sin. But what it does mean is that their desire to live that way has left. You know, as long as we're in this flesh, we're always going to be fallible, which means, imperfect. And a lot of things happen as a result of the fall of Adam and Eve, and sin entered into the world. So a lot of things that our flesh has been acclimated to, it's going to still want it. But our spirits, when someone says that they are ex, it means that their spirit has identified with the need of God and their need for pleasing God, their need to live holy, their need to live for God. It's a need, it is a necessity to live differently than what they've lived before. So that's what an ex is. Like when I say that I'm an ex-bisexual, it doesn't mean that I'm not attracted to women or men anymore. What it means is that I have made a decision to live my life for God, to live holy. That is my aim. That is my goal daily, to live pleasing to God, not to live pleasing to myself. Do I make it all the time? No. But I keep moving. A lifestyle is not a one-time decision. It's something that you must decide on living. Lifestyle, something that is fashioned. It doesn't happen instantly. You must develop it. It must happen after you make conscious decisions toward that direction. I'm an ex-alcoholic. I haven't had a drink in 11 years and haven't had the desire for it. Some other people that may identify as ex-alcoholic, they may struggle in that area. And that's not for them to say, if they was to look at me, that's not for them to say that their deliverance isn't real or authentic. It just means that they're still yielding to God, and God may still, we never understand why God still allows us to go through something, but we must understand that whatever God does, He does it for glory, for His glory. So I want to wrap this up. So when it comes, just to go over a review, X does not mean that, desires have instantly left, that you won't be tempted, or even that you won't even fall in a particular area. What it does mean is that you have made a decision not to live that way. So if you're still struggling and you have identified as an ex-alcoholic, an prescription drug abuser, and you're still dealing with the residuals, I don't want you to be discouraged by the presence of the temptations, by the presence of thoughts. You just submit to God and realize that God has you. As you submit to Him, He will perfect those things which concerns you. You got to believe that His plan will work. You got to believe that you made the right decision to leave that lifestyle to please God, and just remove that weight off of your shoulder. The church may not understand, the world may not understand that if you're still struggling in the area, it does not mean that God has not delivered you. It doesn't mean that, because deliverance is it's the act of God, and it's the power of God to do something in a person's life. It doesn't mean that they're not susceptible to going back to that. That's not deliverance. You know, deliverance, when somebody gets set free out of a jail cell, that's in a sense deliverance. But who's to say that they won't go back? You know, but when you are made whole, that's what we are seeking, wholeness in God, you know, where we won't go back. When we settled in our heart, you know what, I ain't going back. Devil, I'm not going back. Flesh, I'm not going back. Old friends, I'm not going back. You know, and those atmospheres and those temptations won't bother you as much when you get to that place of wholeness. So I pray that you walk guilt-free. You know, if you've been tempted in a particular area, a particular sin, walk free. Know that God is forgiving you. Know that your process is going to be worth it. You continue to submit yourself to God, you know, and He will exalt you. He will exalt you. He will exalt your spirit. He will exalt your mind. Hallelujah. He will exalt your focus and your determination for Him. So you be encouraged, beloved. As long as you have a fervent heart to not live in sin, you can continue to declare and identify as X, because you are not bound by it, but you are bound to Christ. Hallelujah. And whom the Son sets free is free indeed. God bless you.